What's going on, YouTube? Florida Man Knives here, and as you can see, I've got two different Balisongs. Both are live blades, and both are relatively affordable, especially if you're talking a USA made blade here. So this, of course, is going to be the Bradley Kimura, and then the Boker Plus Balisong, the large variant. And I just wanted to do a quick comparison here. I'm not really going to be going over the specs as far as, dimensions. You can see right here, they're both 9-inch Balisongs and are very similar in that regard as far as the handle and overall blade length. And the cutting edge is relatively similar as well. But, there's definitely a substantial price difference between these two. This one right here, you're going to be talking about $87 before tax and shipping, of course. And the Bradley Kimura is going to be $110 for this particular model and $120 for all of the other variants, and then even more for the carbon fiber handled version. But again, substantial price difference there for sure. You're talking $20, and construction's pretty similar. You've got G10 scales on both of these. Definitely significantly different feeling. This is very smooth G10 on the Boker as opposed to the Bradley. Definitely has a little bit more texture. Of course, stainless steel construction on both, but you can see these stainless steel liners are thicker on the Bradley. The pivots are both phosphorus bronze washers, but really big difference here. You can see this one right here is not adjustable on both sides on the Bradley as opposed to the Boker where it is. So definitely a huge bonus in my opinion on the Boker right here. If you're going to be flipping it, especially, I do not really flip either of these too much because I primarily focus on my trainers, I will admit. But again, if you are going to be, I did want to really emphasize that because that is a huge point. I have not tried to adjust these pivots, but I could definitely see that being a problem. And then, of course, you can see there are a few differences. This is a tank pin construction as opposed to the hidden Zen pin construction on the Boker, which I prefer just aesthetically. Functionally, honestly, they're pretty much the same. The only thing is you would potentially have to worry about the tang pins right here backing out, but they're well centered and definitely not too worried about that. One thing I do want to note, I mentioned the price difference. A lot of that I think is going to be attributed to the actual blade material. So the Boker Plus Balisong is going to have D2 steel, as you can see right there, which, don't get me wrong, is a great steel, especially on a budget knife, but it is a little bit prone to corrosion if you are going to have it in a semi-wet environment and not maintain it, as opposed to the Bradley, which has a 154 CM blade. And in my opinion, that is a far superior steel, especially for EDC purposes. Of course, a stainless steel, and definitely, in my opinion, just a little bit better of an edge retention. Toughness might go to the D2, but my preference is the 154. Now, again, that's if you're really going to be cutting with these knives a lot. If you are going to be EDCing any of these, obviously I would personally go with the Boker again. Reason behind that would be just the pocket clip. Honestly, there is no pocket clip on the Bradley, and I don't know, I don't really like having something that weighs just under 6 ounces floating around in my pocket. And speaking of the weight, you can see 5.93 ounces on the Bradley as opposed to, oh, it's not zeroed out. Come on. There we go. Here, I'll try that again. 5.96 ounces. There we go. And 4.94 ounces. So a whole ounce lighter, and it is definitely way more noticeable on the Boker. Another thing right there, didn't even think about it. This has a spring latch. Fantastic. You just squeeze the handles and that'll pop open. You can see how that works actually is right in there where the spring is located. There's some back tension on it, and you can see right there, springs out. The latch on the Bradley is my single biggest complaint on this particular Balisong because it is not spring loaded and it gets in the way. You can see like that, and likewise when you're going to close the knife, if you're not careful, it can come forward right there. It actually does have, looks like, yeah, it has the potential to ding the tip as well, which I have been careful not to do, but did want to note that. I don't think I actually mentioned that in my review of this particular butterfly knife. But there you have most of the points of difference, and as you can probably tell, I definitely favor the Boker Plus as opposed to the Bradley, hands down, especially for the price. The weight, the flippability is better in my opinion. The tolerances on these, you know, I'll admit, I do have the Boker Plus trainers, and the tolerances are about the same as on this Bradley, but just the handle bias on this is a little bit too heavy. I don't know, just this Boker I'm a huge fan of. I really am. It doesn't get enough love in my opinion. And I think that'll be the conclusion of this video. I would love to hear what you all have to say in the comments below. Oh, real quick as well, I did not note this in my review video of this Bradley, and if you've made it this far into the video, please comment below on this particular topic. This isn't even made by Bradley themselves. It's actually made by Bear Ops, and yeah, that's definitely something I wanted to note because it says it right on the box, and I was a little bit surprised to see that when I received this knife. But anyways, there you have it. I for sure would go with the Boker Plus Balisong trainer, or Boker Plus live blade. I'm so used to saying Balisong trainer because I always am flipping the trainers. But anyways, again, would love to hear what you think in the comments, and thanks for watching.